Good morning, everyone. This is a wonderful day in Charles County, and on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, I'd like to say welcome. My name is Reuben Collins. I'm President of the Board of County Commissioners, and I'd like to welcome all of you to the NCN Broadband build-out. Narrowing the digital divide by expanding broadband infrastructure in our county has been a high priority for the commissioners. Broadband impacts many facets of our residents' lives, including their careers, education, and quality of life. The pandemic further highlighted that impact. As public servants, broadband also helps county government better reach our residents on virtual platforms and expands outreach when residents need it most. We are honored to have Governor Hogan, Think Big, our state and local partners, and county staff here today. Thank you for your diligent work and support of this important endeavor. This build-out is just the beginning for Charles County and our board, for we will continue to work to expand broadband access to all of our residents who need it, thus narrowing the digital divide and creating one Charles County. We thank you for your continued support for our community. So it's now my pleasure to introduce the Governor of Maryland, Mr. Larry Hogan.
Well, good morning. Thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner President Collins, all the members of the Charles County Commissioners and our members of the Charles County delegation, the whole team at Think Big Networks, and everyone who has been involved in this very exciting achievement as we prepare to break ground on this transformative $6 million broadband project to construct and operate a 90-mile fiber optic network, which will serve Nanjemoy and Cobb Neck here in Charles County. First of all, it's great to be back in Charles County. It's great to be here with all of you. I'm happy. I got the little hoo-hoo in the back of the room. That's great. We just got off a boat. We were out touring the Mac Middleton Bridge, which is under construction. Coming along very well. We're making tremendous progress, and you're going to be very excited to come back with you when we blow up that old bridge, and when we actually cut the ribbon, and I'm going to drive the first car across that bridge next year. So we're very excited about that progress as well. But once this is completed, this state-of-the-art network will enable more than 1,400 local residents and businesses the opportunity for access to high-speed internet service. And increasing access to high-speed connectivity really can have a transformative effect on communities all across our state. That's why in 2017 I signed an executive order which established a dedicated Office of Rural Broadband within state government. And that office also directed nearly $3 million in grant funding for this project that we're celebrating here today. We've been partnering with local governments and internet service providers to support similar projects in local communities all across the state. And of course, as the Commissioner President mentioned, this sudden shift due to the pandemic, this sudden shift to telework and distance learning that we've seen over the past year during the COVID-19 pandemic has further demonstrated that high-speed internet access is a critical lifeline for students, for families, and small businesses in our state. Just a few weeks ago, I was pleased to enact the Digital Connectivity Act of 2021 to reorganize our Office of Rural Broadband and to create a brand new Office of Statewide Broadband, which will provide assistance to any jurisdiction anywhere in the state to support the construction of the necessary infrastructure in order to provide access and increase affordability of internet service. This office will be instrumental in administering the $300 million that we've budgeted for with our game-changing statewide broadband technology initiative that we announced last month as part of an historic bipartisan budget accord with the legislature. This critical funding will go toward improve the network infrastructure, service fee and device subsidies, municipal broadband grants, and digital equity and inclusion programs. Our goal is clear, to ensure that every single Marylander has access to high-speed internet in every single corner of our state. And achieving that goal really depends on the collaboration of both public and private sector partners, just like we have a perfect example of that we've seen here in Charles County. So I want to say congratulations once again to everyone here and everyone who's been involved in making this possible. And at this time, I'd like to ask Commission President Ruben Collins to please come back up so that I can present him with a governor's citation to commemorate this very special occasion.
Right here, sir. You know, it's just great seeing people for a change. You know what I mean? We've been away for so long. But at this time, I'd like to introduce the county's partner in this endeavor, representatives from Think Big, Deanna Sobczyk and Mr. Mark Wagner, to share more about the project. We're grateful for their experience in assisting the county in this very important project.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. And thank you, Governor Hogan, for your work not only on this important project, but for all your important work that you've been doing on behalf of rural broadband in Maryland. Other administrations have talked about the issue. In fact, there have been a lot of talks through the years about doing projects like this, lots of talks. But Governor Hogan and his team have actually done something. They have given real time, energy, and revenue dedicated to solving the rural broadband problem in Maryland. And for that, we cannot thank you enough, Governor. Thank you to the board of the Charles County Commissioners. We are so greatly appreciating their efforts that they have put forth on behalf of the citizens of Nanjemoy and Cobb Neck, and the willingness to provide not only the revenue, but also an incredible team of individuals dedicated to this project. Deb Hall, Evelyn Jacobson, Matt Jacobson, Erica Reiser, Gina Markovich, Danielle Mitchell, Joanne Hovis, the dedicated volunteer board members of the Broadband Committee and the task force, and the entire Charles County team. This group of individuals have been among the most dedicated, professional, and delightful people that we've ever had the pleasure to work with, and work with them we have. We actually started this project last February, not this February, last February, and we finally finished the contract in December. But through all of it, and even in our darkest days of negotiations, we developed a respect and admiration and a true partnership that continues to this day. And without all of them and their tireless effort and their incredible patience, often with me, probably always with me, none of this would have happened. Public-private partnerships such as this are critical to the success of rural broadband builds. If it were easy, it would have been done years ago, but it's not easy. These projects require real partnerships on many levels, from the county to the states, to companies like Think Big, and then we also need great relationships with other critical organizations, such as the local utility company. Fortunately, here in Charles County, we have a fantastic utility partner in SMECO. SMECO's CEO, Sonia Cox, and her team have been amazing, helping us every step of the way, figuring out the utility infrastructure and the best locations for our points of presence, which are our POPs, where we send signal from. In fact, months ago, when we reached out with a question about a POP location for Nanjemoy, the SMECO team, led by Tommy Short, met us at that location with literally every person that needed to be there in order to answer our questions. There were so many trucks there, it looked like a new truck dealership had just popped up in Nanjemoy out of the blue. So Team SMECO, thank you so much. Another key component that we have in Maryland is the support of, and the support of other projects is the Maryland Broadband Cooperative. The cooperative has stepped up as never before with this project, working with us on reduced pricing and logistical support for our POPs. Drew and his team are always there, and whenever we have questions and concerns, Drew's answer is always, yes, we'll figure it out. And for that, Drew and your team, thank you very much. We are incredibly thankful. Speaking of saying yes, here we are today. Thank you to Chief Andrew Spalding and his team here at the Newburgh Fire Department. We reached out to Chief Spalding last year, out of the blue. He had no idea who Think Big was. He had no idea about the project, and we asked him for an easement to be able to put our POP out here on his property. And he, from the start, has been nothing but helpful. He's allowed us to invade his station today. He's providing food and refreshments, and he's allowing us to have a session with the Cobb Neck residents later in the back room. So Chief Spalding, thank you so much, and thank you to your team. And here in Maryland, we are also incredibly fortunate to have at the center of all things broadband, probably the most talented broadband person on the planet, an incredibly nice person as well, Kenrick Gordon. Rick and his team that run the statewide Office of Broadband, they've basically come up with a model for the nation on how to get stuff done and done well. Rick, there is no chance any project like this would ever come close to being possible without you and your team, and we thank you very much. You are truly the best, and we are thankful that Governor Hogan has put you here to quarterback this project and all the key broadband projects throughout Maryland. And lastly, of course, my heartfelt thanks and my eternal gratitude goes out to the incredible team at Think Big. Mark and I know we ask far too much of this team. David Inslee, Dave Barr, and Dave Hartman, our three Daves. Only one of them could be here today because we had a little issue, and so instead of them being able to come here and to be recognized, they're back in the trenches doing what we do best, being a tech company. But they're amazing. They manage all aspects from operations, engineering, and IT, along with Alyssa Bell, our project manager, Michelle Arball, our director of sales. We also have a couple of installers that are roaming around in Charles County right now that you have probably seen over the last couple months. They're doing pole surveying, and they're helping us get the project launched. And last but not least, our superstar subcontractor. As many of you, I'm sure, have seen, and you probably saw when you went to turn down this road, GEV Contracting, run by Gabriel Vasquez. Thank you for all your dedication to this mission. You are truly the best in business. Now I would like to introduce Mark Wagner, Think Big CEO, to give us a quick overview of the project, along with David Inslee, our operations director. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having us here and joining us on this lovely day to kick off this incredibly important project. Deanna forgot one amazing person in her remarks, without whom none of this would remotely be possible, and that is our incredible COO, chairwoman of the board, Deanna Sobczak. Deanna has built and continues to build and Think Big a culture of incredible kindness and competency, and has helped assemble really the greatest broadband team on the planet, really the Avengers of broadband. And for all of that, we owe her an eternal gratitude. So thank you, Deanna. So today we're kicking off this very important construction project. We are installing a fiber optic network here in Cobb Neck and Nanjinamoy over the next, hopefully, 28 or so months. We'll be installing this network, and then Think Big will be using this network to provide state-of-the-art broadband connectivity. This project, as you can see over here, is in phases, 5 phases. Despite appearances to the contrary, we are not actually beginning this project today with the ceremonial shovels in the dirt. We have already actually began about 3 weeks ago and have already installed and completed or nearly completed, how many?
About 4 miles.
About 4 miles of network, and you can actually follow the progress as we go on the, courtesy of Charles County, on their map. They have an interactive, color-coded, we call it the magic map, that updates as we go along. Matt, yeah, and courtesy of Matt. Matt's Maps. So we are looking to install this fiber optic network as much as possible underground, and using, as Deanna pointed out, the drilling equipment, that one right there, is one of them. We like to install, although more costly, we like to install fiber underground because ultimately it's a more protected environment, and fiber, when it's in the ground, can last for decades. Really, if you imagine burying a glass in your backyard, unless you break it, nothing's going to happen to it. When we can't use drilling equipment, we will be working with our partners, our friends at SMECO, to use the area utility infrastructure and bucket trucks. And while this is all going on, the other part of our team is busy collecting customer contract agreements and, where needed, utility easements. Because one of the key things that we have figured out about this area, and something that I'm sure the commissioners and local people know, is one key thing is that the people down here are incredibly nice and sometimes very colorful. And if you don't believe me, then you should really follow the Nanjemoy Facebook page because it's amazing. The other thing we've discovered is that there are a lot of private roads, and you can see them depicted on the fiber diagram, that predate, in many cases, utilities of any kind. So we have had to catch up with some utility easements. And as Deanna pointed out, that work will continue. Graciously, the fire station has allowed us to meet the residents here later today to continue that effort, and we anticipate doing many more of those meetings, both here and in Nanjemoy. And actually, we're delighted to do so because I cannot express to you enough how awesome the people have been around here. So let me just speak for a second about what it is we are installing, because it is state-of-the-art. And over this fiber optic network, ThinkBig will be offering broadband packages up to 1,000 megabits, a gig. That's a lot of bandwidth. Just for example, 1,000 megabits is enough bandwidth to download a 4K Ultra UHD movie in approximately 25 seconds. It is enough bandwidth if you are so inclined and thinking big and you want to download all of the publicly available publications from the Library of Congress. That would take you approximately 2 hours. So this is a lot of bandwidth. And the other thing that's really, really important about our service offering is that we do not have any data caps, and we never will. So continue to watch your movies, do your homework, do your work, and at the end of the month, we are never going to surprise you with some crazy bill. That is not how we operate, and never will. So, and again, in closing, 1,000 megabits is a lot of bandwidth, but in this country, we are experiencing exponential growth in bandwidth, and there's no stopping. We see no end to that. We're at 4K TV service now. Very soon, 8K TVs. Those are going to require 300 megabits per screen. VR gaming, 3D gaming. You may have noticed that kids like to game. The next generations of Fortnite and those types of games could very well require 500 megabits per screen. So, and with the addition of all the devices that we're bringing into our homes, it is forecast by 2028 that the typical American household might need up to 2,000 megabits of bandwidth. And in certain situations, that would be a problem with lesser internet technologies. But with the technologies that we're bringing here to Nanjemoy and Cobb Neck, that is simply a package truck roll where we will ship our customers a 10 gig capable box. So again, we're building a future-proof, best-in-class network. We're proud to be a part of this public-private partnership, very proud and humbled and honored to be the private part of this partnership, and we really, really look forward to working with all of you in the future, and thank you all.
Good morning. I'm Commissioner Bobby Rucci. I would like to thank Governor Hogan, Think Big, and our local state partners for being here with us today, and county staff. Broadband is important to residents. I look forward to seeing the positive impact on the project in our community. Very excited. I'd like to, our fellow commissioners are going to say a few words. I'd first like to welcome Thomasina Coates.
All right, this is wonderful. This is excellent. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so pleased our residents, including those in the rural Nanjemoy area of District 2, will have access to broadband services. That is great. I can't thank this team and stakeholders enough. As a lifelong county resident, I understand the inequity of how broadband is delivered and how vital it is to close the gap between the services our rural residents receive in comparison to our residents in the more suburban areas. This is great. Broadband gives residents living in rural areas a fair opportunity for higher education, employment, business endeavors, as well as entertainment. You heard the gentleman just spoke from Think Big talk about that. I am proud to be a part of this effort and look forward to the many opportunities this expansion provides Charles County residents and their families now and in the future. I'd like to thank the governor, all the stakeholders, and the broadband team for this effort. It's well needed and I appreciate it. Now I'd like to invite my colleague, Commissioner Gilbert Bowling, to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. I will tell you that for me, this has been a long time coming personally. Evelyn, I think it was 3 years ago, we sat, and the governor, you sat back and said this is a crowd. Well, I can tell you 3 years ago, we sat at Bell Alton Fire Department with a packed room, and there was a lot of people that were at that meeting then that are at this meeting today. And I can tell you that the residents of Charles County are grateful for where we are today. And I know we've thanked a lot of people, but I got a couple people, I'm grateful to everybody, a couple people that haven't been recognized yet. One specifically that I have been on since day one, and I'm looking at her now because every day I think some of my residents have me on speed dial and on reminder about where the status of our internet service is. And you've made a big difference. And I thank our Deputy County Administrator for what she's done and how she's gotten us here today. If it wasn't for her dedication to the job and dedication to this, I don't think this would have gotten us here today. So I thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I live this every day. I live in rural Charles County, but there are residents in Waldorf and in White Plains that are struggling with this as well. I think we take for granted that folks that live in our more urban areas have internet access, and that is not the case. This is just the start. This right here will start us on a path to getting everyone affordable internet access. Like I said, I've lived here my entire life, and it doesn't just impact the residents, it impacts our school system, and I see our Board of Education, our superintendent, and our school board members here, and without their help moving this forward and really pushing for us, we wouldn't be where we are. And our teachers have one heck of a job. And what they've done over the past year during this pandemic has really highlighted the desperate need for internet service for all of our residents. And I thank you for your help. I thank you for your support to the Board of Education. I look forward to working with you moving forward to getting this and making this happen moreover. You know, as I said, I hate saying it's more we, this Board of Commissioners, have made this the #1 priority as we move forward over these 4 years. And what's happening today isn't just talk. This is actually, and I think Commissioner Collins put it perfectly when we started this. And he said, we don't just want words, we want action. We want a shovel in the ground. And here we are today with a shovel in the ground. Promises made, promises kept is what I'll say. I really am delighted by the progress we've made so far and where we are with it. Mark, I appreciate you and what you've done in moving us forward as our leader, a leader for the county. And really, I'm just happy. I'm not going to lie to y'all because I will tell you, and I'll just give you Cheryl, Chip, Mike, and Jen that call me once a week for the past 3 years and ask, where is my internet service? This is the start. If you're watching this is not the end. And we are delivering. We, everyone in this room is. So thank you. Thanks for coming down to Charles County. It's the best county in the state, Governor. But thank you. With that being said, I'd like to introduce my colleague and a teacher. Commissioner Stewart, the stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. First, I just want to thank Governor Hogan for his leadership and ensuring that part of his administration, the priority was increasing broadband for the state of Maryland. So thank you, Governor Hogan. One of the things, Commissioner Bowling kind of took my thunder, but the first thing I wanted to do was to acknowledge our Superintendent of Schools for Charles County Public School System, Dr. Kimberly Hill, and our chair for the school board, Ms. Latina Wilson, and our other school board members that are here. If you know me, you know I am an educator, you know I'm a mom, and you know I'm a proud graduate of Thomas Stone High School, Charles County Public Schools, 1993, Go Cougars. And so one of the things I just want to leave with you today is this, that yes, this will help residents, this will help businesses, but I'm especially proud to say that this is going to help our children. Not just the children that are here today, but generations to come, children that haven't even been thought of. This will help them. Because COVID has pushed us into online learning, it really talked about or showed our deficits that we have across the county with broadband and internet access. But I am so proud to be part of Charles County. I'm so proud to be a mom of a junior in Charles County Public School System right now, because Charles County is where we're making changes, and not just changes for today, but for the future. So for everyone, this will benefit everyone, but I'm, again, especially proud of how this will help our children and our teachers for generations to come. So thank you. I'm sorry, let me be official. Sorry. And now, Commissioner President Ruben Collins will come back up to the podium for final remarks.
Thank you, Commissioner. And before I close this out, I wanted to recognize Delegate Susie Proctor, who is here. I don't think she was recognized. And I'd also like to thank everyone for being here. I mean, this is an unbelievable day for our community. And I want to reiterate how proud we are of staff, because staff literally made this happen. This was a priority of our board, but staff did the groundwork. And for that, we are truly grateful. So thank you on behalf of Charles County government. And again, thank you, Governor Hogan, for taking time out of his schedule. He described to us what his day looks like for the rest of the day. So thank you for spending time here in Charles County. With that, and I'd like to say good morning to everyone. We will do, I guess you will call it a virtual groundbreaking. I'm not sure, since we already had the groundbreaking, or actual work has already been established. So we will have opportunity for photos, and we'd like to wish everyone a great day. Thank you.